We've got something like 1,500 roses here at the Botanic Gardens. The main pruning of roses is done in winter, simply because that's the period of time when they're at their dormant stage. Well, basically you're wanting to increase the vigour of the rose and increase the amount of flowering that you get, and you also, where if possible, you want to improve the form of the plant. So we have what we call the 3D approach. In winter, we're trying to get rid of some of the dead, diseased, distorted growth on the plants and providing a new form for the new season's growth. In the summer, we're removing the spent flowers, so by doing that, that increases the flowering. I think if people are confronted with a shrub rose like flower carpet scarlet, it can be rather intimidating. What we try and do is say, hey, it isn't rocket science, and you just, if you approach it with a little bit of care, you'll be fine. We often say, approach it like a haircut. Just take a little bit off at the time because you can't stick it back on again afterwards. First of all, I'm just going to get rid of some of the older growth and twiggy growth, which is going to allow me to get into the centre of the plant. We basically work from the outside in. We don't go right for the middle and try and drag pieces out, because you're going to start damaging parts of the rose, and you'll probably also end up damaging yourself while you're pulling them out. We work around the plant and we're constantly looking for damaged and diseased, distorted growth. Basically, we're looking for an outward facing bud. Outward facing basically means what we're trying to get here is a plant that is going out from the centre, so it's allowing the air movement into the centre to prevent as much disease as possible. So it's literally facing out in a V. It's not going back into the plant. So that's where you cut to, usually about 5 to 6 millimetres above that bud, and it's actually on an angle. So you're cutting from above because you don't actually want any rain going into the bud and rotting it out. So as you can see, any water that comes on here is going to go that way down. It's not going to flow into that bud. And then when you get in, you've got the base of some of the stems that you've already pruned out, and you want to cut those nice and flush to the crown, because if you don't, they will die back, and they will also provide nice little hidey holes for bugs that you don't want in here. So we're trying to get rid of any habitat that those sort of insects can live in. So we're literally getting all this old bark away, and you may just see there's a little piece there that's sticking up. Once again, I'm going to get in there and cut that off, so it's basically almost flush. And now we're actually just looking for stems that are not crossing over. When I say crossing over, I'm talking about a stem that is actually started on the other side of the plant and it's come right across this side. If you have a stem like that, you're going to get other stems coming in contact with it and rubbing, and that's where you get damage. It's basically a porthole for infection and possibly more insect damage. Once again, here's another piece. Let's have a look. You can actually see good, healthy growth, and then that's gone right through from this side into the middle. Get a sort of nice open sort of structure. I mean, it will vary from rose to rose, but none of these are really crossing over, and so that's what we want. Here at Botanic Gardens we have species roses, we have heritage roses, and we have modern roses. And even though the technique is the same for all of those roses, each rose has different characteristics. You will take less off some roses, more off others. And really it's just getting to know the varieties that you have in your own home garden and dealing with them.